extravaganza version, a lot of the rules that were in play before were there to limit the really overpowered factions from getting too far out of hand. Since we're not playing any of the good factions, I removed most of those restrictions. A lot of the rules that were designed to keep people in check are just gone because we don't really need that for this. So here is the updated crapstravaganza for the Bretonnia Bowl. Okay, so first off, the objective is to get to Bretonnia and take as many of the castles there as possible, the province capitals specifically. Paravon, Bastogne, Artois, Coron, Carcassonne, like all the French-sounding castles. Those, whoever holds the most of those wins by turn 75, but you cannot enter Bretonnia until turn 50. So the borders are closed till turn 50. Rule 2 is gone, rule 3 is gone. So clean battle rule. Clean battle basically means if you have multiple armies sitting in a spot and your opponent also has multiple armies sitting in a spot and you're about to fight, both players are allowed to walk up all their armies without fear of the other player waiting, and then the second you move one army forward, they instantly right click it and start the fight before you're ready. The game is not balanced around players moving simultaneously. The game is balanced around turn-based. So when we get to a point where there's multiple armies trying to get in position to fight each other, you need to assume that your opponent's armies are moving together as one unit. This is the clean battle rule. So if Mitch is about to attack me and Mitch has 3 armies and he moves the first one forward, I gotta wait till he moves army 2 and 3 into position. I can't just jump the first one because that's stupid. All 3 armies are treated as like one unit moving forward, okay? Settlement trading is still banned. Trading settlements to the AI for diplomatic favors. The AI is kind of stupid. They will give you literally anything you want. They'll sell you their own grandmother if you offer them just one minor settlement with a barracks in it. We all know this is broken. Don't do it. There are some exceptions on settlement trading. For example, if you need to get an AI off your back, you can give them a settlement for a peace treaty, but nothing more. You can't sell it for cash. You can't give them a peace treaty and a non-aggression. You can't stack extra things on it. You can just purely say, leave me alone, and give them the settlement for a peace treaty, and that's it. Beyond that, if you want to sell your settlements to the AI or bribe them with stuff, you need to already be allied with them. You can't use it as like a bribe to get the alliance in the first place. Let's see. Defender's Initiative, rule number 7. This is when you are about to attack a city. Again, this goes back to the whole simultaneous turns thing. If you're about to attack a city that has an enemy army in it, you have to announce the attack, and then the player who's in the city can decide whether they're going to abandon the city and run away, or if they're going to move armies in to defend it, etc. This is just bringing back a semi-turn-based mode, and the only fair way I could do it was just assume the defender always goes first. Just so we're clear. So no like surprise attacking a city in the middle of a turn without calling it first. The 2-agent limit, assassins running around, killing all of your heroes, etc. is super annoying. But it is part of the game, so we're not banning them entirely. You are limited to only 2 assassins in the play area. Around the rest of the map, you can have more running around, but like within the actual confines of Bretonnia during the post turn 50, you can only have 2 assassins sabotaging the other team. And when I say assassin, I mean any kind of agent that sabotages the enemy, whether it's hindering their replenishment, assaulting their units, assassinating their heroes, or any other sort of form of sabotage. Rule number 9, don't exploit the game. This is self-explanatory. If you're about to do something and you think, the devs clearly didn't intend this, and I'm exploiting a loophole, don't do it. And then rule number 10, this is an update as of the last campaign. You can blame a certain Scotsman whose name starts with H and is not named Helping Hands for forcing me to add this rule. You can no longer move while you are in ambush stance. If you are detected from your ambush and you are forced out of ambush, you must wait till the following turn to go back into ambush. You can't just re-ambush immediately, and you cannot slide your armies around the map invisibly all the time. Conversely, though, to go along with this, you also cannot move in encampment stance either, because encampment stances give you ambush defense. So if your opponent has to get there and set up the ambush, then you are also going to have to take the risk of potentially walking into one without being in camping stance. I also like to refer to this as Warhammer 2 style, because in Warhammer 2, you could not move in ambush or camp stance anyway. So we're just going back to the way it used to be. Again, this 99% of these rules come down to simultaneous turns, kind of screwing things up.
What about in like the super early game when we're just fighting the AI? Can we use in camp if we need to use in camp?
You can, honestly, with the AI, do whatever you want, because the AI is not going to respect any of the restrictions that I just made. So if the AI isn't going to play by the rules, then you don't need to either, right? So do what you got to do to get the AI out of your hair, but as soon as you're anywhere near another player, it stops.
I saw Ikit moving in camp stance. Somebody ban him.
Okay. All right. Any questions or anything before we get started?
I just want to add to the choosing and picking content. I recommended Village because he's so far away, but when I recommended him, I forgot that you removed all rule restrictions fairly, which means he would have been allowed to teleport ambush us. So I'm glad that didn't go through.
Yeah, actually, in hindsight, when I suggested giving them Daniel the Demon Prince,
he could teleport ambushes too.
Yeah,
I
forgot he had teleport ambushes. That would have been bad.
I was so hoping you were gonna pick Daniel. I wanted to play him so bad. I
tried him for a few turns one day, and I just remember thinking, "Wow, this is the most boring talent tree I've ever seen."
I just like the build a demon feature.
Yeah, the build a demon workshop.
I like him because he's got good recruitment, or like global recruitment.
Yeah.
That's me right there. Fat frog.
Not like good, but decent.
All right, let me get this question out of the way, because I don't want to be the only one holding people up. Is anyone else going to manual battle their first few battles, or are you all going to be just mashing the auto key?
I'm actually auto key on hard, dog. I'm autoing all day.
Since the opposing team can take over the battles, manual is a risky prospect because they may just try to assassinate your heroes.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Unless it's an ambush or one of your quest battles, we can take control of any army you fight manually.
We can still take over ambushes.
Oh.
You can't see the ambushes to fight them.
Yeah, but we can still take over the units.
No, you can't.
No, it doesn't let you. There's no button to.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like mechanically not an option.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
Progress through the campaign to unlock the devastatingly powerful hero Lord Croak and wield settlement crumbling powers. Construct geomantic web buildings across your province to reinforce its power and boost effectiveness of commandments.
A horde faction. Peepo sad.
I'm just finally forced to play a fair faction. This will be something.
Forced to take a city.
What are these pop-ups?
This is other players starting fights. Welcome to multiplayer, where
yeah, I was just trying to merge my hero into my army, and it got interrupted 3 times. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the first turn, there's going to be like 9 battles back to back as we all take our first action. So this part of the campaign is always super spammy. I honestly haven't even attempted to click anything yet because I already know how this goes.
Same.
Yep.
Level 2, untied, undefeated.
The biggest gut.
Biggest gut in the land.
You know, I realized that Greece starts with 2 cities. That's kind of crazy. I'm terrified.
Right now, I'm very grateful that this faction can just auto the first city. There's a few that I remember trying that could not auto the first few fights because they would just lose if you did.
Yep.
So on Mazda Mundi, it's actually about a 50-50 if you can without losing either your Bastillodon or Croc scores.
Oh, I didn't lose anything on the first 2, so I'm okay so far.
Of course, my first 2 lords I can recruit have bad traits.
Do you make a lord on turn 1?
Yep. Gotta start collecting that XP, yo.
Do you just have it follow your army around?
Yep.
So I'm looking at my guy's skills.
Not to mention, ogre tyrants actually have pretty decent auto resolve, so it's not even that bad of a play for ogres specifically.
I was thinking that this guy was going to have the same spell set as Lord Croak, but he does not, so I'm reading it really fast.
Welcome to Master Mundi.
He's got a
We
heal
have a
at
life.
least. I like
We have a
having a
life
heal.
slan at home. Looks at Master Mundi.
Overcast Apotheosis doesn't make it AoE? Get out of here.
No one ever beat Greases.
Okay, I will... Oh my god, these pop-ups!
Yeah, welcome to your first PvP experience. I get used to the pop-ups. It's gonna happen 20 times a turn.
Now imagine if there was 8 people instead of 6.
Yeah, I wasn't
Welcome to
expecting
hell,
that.
son.
Teammates, my first bonus lord. Saurus Oldblood, Skink Chief, or Croxigar Ancient.
The Croxagor Ancients are pretty good, aren't they?
Saurus Oldblood gets a skill at level 10 where they can get 20% upkeep production for dinosaurs or Saurus Warriors or Temple Guard, depending on what you want to pick.
Oh yeah,
I think
sorry, real quickly, does Muck need to get like any of the DLCs for the Lizard Men?
I have
Or
the
if he-
dinosaurs. I'm good there.
If he already has Croxagor, then that means he already has most of the good DLC, right? Like
Yes,
Coatl and...
Yeah.
I believe I have all the Lizardmen stuff.
Okay.
Okay on that one. Thank you for asking. Alright, so, Bomb Just, you were recommending Saurus Oldblood?
I think Saurus Oldblood because you get a lot of upkeep production for dinosaurs, which in turn means you can afford more armies or better economy. And I don't think Croxagor Ancients, I'm pretty sure, are anti-infantry, right? They're not any anti-large.
Yeah, and I think Croxagors, I don't know if they ever get, like, a mount. Whereas I know the Skink Chiefs and the Old Bloods get, like, they ride on dinosaurs later on, which makes them a bit tougher.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get...
I would take the Saurus Oldblood just for being large, because everyone's probably going to be large. Borisers is going to be large, Ninkari's going to be large, and who's the other person? Kalita? Kalita's not going to be large. She's a itty bitty... No, she gets a mount on like a serpent thing, right?
Okay.
All
let's
right.
get
When do
growth
people want me to do
building.
some diplomacy?
That.
Is there a meter for Marcus where I can see how much his hostility is going to go up?
That would be a Rita question.
I've played a little bit of this faction, but it's been so long I don't see his I don't see if there's a way to track it.
Are y'all good if I open up some diplomacy?
I'm good.
I don't know what you're asking, so sure.
If multiple players try to do diplomacy stuff at the same time, it can, not always, but can crash the game. So usually we announce diplomacy before we do it.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, like if you approach a faction at the same time he does, and like you both try to send them a trade agreement or whatever, the game just freaks out and dies.
Let's see. Now, so I do not get like shared vision of what my allies can see in this.
No, if we in the lobby screen, if I set us up as a team in advance, we could. But if I do that, it screws up diplomacy for a lot of us, because like, for example, Wolfheart is like mortal enemies of the lizards, and you're playing the lizards. So if we were allied, suddenly all the factions that we should be friends with would hate us. and it can shoot you in the foot. So, in order to sign an alliance, we're just gonna have to send a hero and uncover each other. Of course, you and I start so close together that it shouldn't be too hard to just walk up there and find you.
And you're south of me?
I'm not far south of you. Yes. Hilariously, for me, frozen climate is only orange, and I think for you it's red. So if anything, that means I kind of want to pass by you to the north and start taking Marathi's properties.
Syntax.
And you probably want to go south of me, so we want to like pass each other.
Can I, dude? I'm gonna be real. I'm 200 hours in this game. I didn't know climate was a thing.
See the cities with the red circles north of you?
Yes.
The red circle, mouse over it, you see there's some pretty grievous penalties on it?
Yes.
That's what happens if you try to go to a climate that is hostile to your race. Since you're playing the lizards, they hate ice climate.
Makes sense.
So you can't really expand north without shooting yourself in the foot.
Got it.
So you need to go to a warmer climate, which is mainly south, which forces you into me, which is exactly why the other team put us on this combo, because it forces you to kind of come trample over my territory.
Does every faction have to deal with climate, or only some?
There are some factions that are more or less immune to it.
Like, do the undead care? I would think they might not.
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yeah. Like Vampire Coast and Vampire Cons do have climate penalties. I would say it's most factions have climate. Few don't care. Like Oxyal doesn't care. Nakai doesn't care. Beastmen don't care. There's probably I don't think Warriors of Chaos don't care. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think Warriors of Chaos are immune to climate everywhere. They don't care. But also, I knew going into this that no one was going to get a Warriors of Chaos faction because they're freaking strong. Why would we give our opponents a strong faction, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, because you like us, maybe?
I'm sure I would find a way to make it look better.
that was your first mistake, Lex. I mean, to be fair, Bomb just did try to give you guys Village.
Yeah, that's because the teleport ambush thing was totally out of my mind.
I wanted Daniel.
Daniel's plagues are still bugged.
Okay, I know one of our opponents is Slaanesh, and there is a Slaanesh army right on my doorstep already. That's not one of you, is it?
Ain't no way he got there.
That'd be some wild round 2 expanding.
Holy, I don't know what mods he got on.
No, I'm just like, I'm surprised because my experience of this game so far is like at the beginning you're always at war with like one dude, and it's like, you know, the people that you farm right at the beginning. I'm at war with 2 people. I'm at war with Slaanesh on the left and some Ziggurat on the right.
Oh yeah. The ones on the right of you are like Norskins.
The shockingly obese.
The shockingly obese.
Oh my god, look how obese he is.
Let's see if I can erase this guy in time. Decisive. Okay, cool.
Biggest gut.
I gotta adjust some volumes.
Ooh, Dawnstone.
Dude, now I wish I had done a test campaign because
Well, you didn't know what you were going to be testing.
yeah, I know, but so I've never done a test campaign with Greases, and I feel like I probably should have for like previous campaigns. Greases has 3 cities that create like a little protective like plus sign, like a little triangle, if you will, and you can put your camps inside, but if you screw, like it's got to be like pixel perfect, and I can't remember where the pixels are, so probably gonna mess that up.
Here's something I never figured out on Lizardmen. Maybe you can enlighten me. You know anything about the geomantic web?
Yes. It is like basically as you take the cities that are indicated by the web, it gives you like faction-wide bonuses as you build the like astromancy towers.
Yeah. So in province capitals, there's the geomantic web like building, which will, if you build that in like one city and then build it in another city, I'm pretty sure the way it works is that both cities that have that tower will have their commandments boosted, I believe. And like the reason why I never bother with it whenever I did test campaigns for Lisbons that had access to it, because it takes up a building slot, and your building slots are quite precious, because you need your building slots to unlock technologies. So
Right.
I know, I think Rita, who is another one of our campaign gamers, I think she tries and juices that. I usually just ignore it.
Yeah, I've managed to use the geomantic web pretty successfully. It can get you some really big bonuses, but it very much depends on which Lizardman faction you're playing.
And not to mention, I think the best geomantic web bonus is the one that reduces the building times, and to get that one to go from -1 turn for buildings to -2, it needs to be tier 5. And the chances of you getting like multiple tier 5 locations before this campaign is over is quite slim. So, not to mention, if you don't know anything about it, I don't know how, like if you set it up wrong, like, oh no, I wasted this money in these turns building this building.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm sorry that I am not a geomantic web district planner.
Refused.
The mate.
99% of us ignore the web. Yeah, like I mentioned that I'd gotten to like turn 50 with some of the other lizard people, and I never figured it out, and I hadn't bothered to Google that one yet. So, Chad, I can either go southwest and take out this guy, or I can go northeast, but there's an enemy here, too. I've got 2 enemies, the ones with the red text. This guy, though, is an army. I think I need to deal with him. I think if I go south to get rid of this guy, that this army is going to hit me. So I think I have to deal with him first.
Oh, I want to say 8? Is 8 normal for a capital? But it's just like, oh, I could have built hero capacity, or I could have built, who knows, something cool.
You alive over there, Mitch?
Yep, I am. I'm just taking care of one last thing here.
I think Mitch is arguably playing the most difficult thing right now.
Yeah, did the elves run you off Ultra One already?
No, we are getting a second province next turn.
Look at this guy.
Our baby's all grown up and safe in China.
He actually mains Slanesh.
Yeah, we talked about this because Mitch's comments in Discord before the campaign made it sound like he'd played a lot of Slanesh and was comfortable on the faction. But we thought about it and we were like, you know, comfortable or not,
He's getting it
they
anyway.
they still don't have a replenishment hero. They still have a terribly like rough starting position. Like, you know what, he can have it.
Replenishment lord.
Their
Their
lord
lords
only have 6%.
The same 6% that every other faction gets is not the same as like a replenishment hero, though.
No, but if you stack the corruption, it is more than.
Attrition.
Have fun stacking corruption in Bretonia.
What is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Norska. Got friggin' Norska attrition on my doorstep.
Not a chance.
I'm gonna open diplomacy.
Go for these guys. Of all the things I expected from a multiplayer Total War, the constant pop-ups was not on the list.
It definitely slows down, because obviously, like, the first couple rounds are, like, the most establishing rounds. But yeah.
Is it just one pop-up per battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pop-ups show up when battling. It'll also stop you if somebody's, like, moving units from one army to another. And then if a dilemma pops up where it has you choose between two different things as well, it'll hold the lobby until you choose that.
Teammates, when do you usually get a third lord?
Not this soon.
In before Bomb just is like, I'm on 8.
Yeah. there's probably some strat where it's just like, even supply lines on normal aren't that big of a deal, but you technically could like run around with like maybe like a 15 stack and 2 lords instead of 1 lord. But someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume XP is split, right? When you have more lords. So I don't mind splitting it between 2 lords because I want to have my second lord have like some skills by the time he gets an army. But I don't want to split like my XP between 3 lords. I don't know if the way it works is that XP is just, you know, what I'm trying to say here. Like every lord just gets like 1,000 XP or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how many lords there are. But I don't think that's the case. I do need to hire a third board, funny enough, but not for aforementioned reasons.
Problem with Slaanesh is Elder Resolve sucks. You don't want to manually play against other players. Yeah. There was a who's the guy Gorst that uses zombies? Like he always wins, but Auto Resolve always says he would lose.
Yeah, what is the... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, streamer?
I was just asking what, like, one of the systems are.
I could activate Rite of Ferocity right before I do the next attack chat, which will be income from the next battles increase and get more XP and stuff like that. Might be better to save that, though, because after I do this battle, I won't have another battle on the immediate next turn, so I might just wait on that. Also, I forgot to start my research on turn 1. I started it on turn 2, so that was really stupid. I hate myself with that. If Fairlight takes longer than 10 minutes, we're legally allowed to leave.
True.